Okay, hello everyone. So today is going to start a trial. I believe it's a trial about, well, I know it's a trial about movement and tracking how movement affects people with MND, or I'm going to feed back later when I know exactly the details, but I think it's tracking movement and how with people with MND, how movement patterns might change as the condition progresses. So it's something I've been really keen to take part in, being quite an active person myself. It'd be very interesting to see the results of a long-term study of how over time people's movement patterns decrease or increase as the condition progresses. So I'm off to Salford Royal, back there to meet the research team, and then I'll feed back once I know a little bit more when I get there. And we've arrived and we're winning at life. 45 minutes to an hour and a half expected time, and we made it in 45 minutes with no traffic. Fingers crossed getting back to school after my trial will be just as awesome as the journey here. Crossing my fingers. Can I cross my fingers? That's the first time I tried to cross my fingers. Crossing my fingers isn't, look at the state of my middle finger. It's going off on one. Can I do it? How could you cross your fingers? That's how you cross your fingers. Cross that. No, I can no longer cross my fingers. Barnes building with the neurons. Okay, so it's a couple of days after getting over the fact that my 5-minute debrief was just a time-lapse video of just pictures. So yeah, it was a really interesting appointment. What happened in the appointment is they tested my grip strength, my left hand and my right hand. My left hand was considerably weaker. I think on my left hand I could reach 5 kilograms of force. My right hand was 60 kilograms. Then they did the leg test where they measured my strength in my legs. That wasn't too bad. I think my left leg was 20 kilograms and then my right leg was 28. They then did an ultrasound on my muscles. So they did an ultrasound on my, my thigh and my arm, my bicep. And that was really interesting, looking at what my muscles were doing under the ultrasound. I could see the density of the muscles, and I could also see some fasciculations. Even though I couldn't feel them twitching, I could see it in the ultrasound. And then they attached the monitor. It's a bit like having a Garmin attached to your upper thigh, and it tracks like the different axes of movement. So they'll know if I'm sat down, if I'm stood up, if I'm vertical. And that stays on my leg 24/7 for 7 days, and I send it back to them for them to analyse the data. Once it was attached, I then did sitting to standing tests. I did a walking test, how far could I walk in 3 minutes, and also I did a single leg balance test on my left leg and my right leg, things that I probably should be doing anyway from my physio, so that was good to see. It's a really interesting study. It's not really a study, it's a research looking at how movement affects the chance. I've actually got a few things on my phone here because it's a Manchester Metropolitan with Salford Royal and Sheffield Hospital Trust study, and it's to develop wearable technology to track health changes in motor neuron disease, improving care and monitoring without the hospital visits. That's their sort of purpose. I think there's 50 individuals, like male and female. And it's a 12-month study, so I'll be going back to have the device put on my leg. I think I'll go back 5 times over the year. So yeah, I'm happy to be a part of this study. Hopefully it's going to help people with MND further down the line, and it's interesting to see how my movement patterns work. So normally I do try and stay quite active. Last couple of days I've been quite ill with a flu or UTI, I'm not too sure what it is, so I've not really moved at all, so that's a bit of a something different in their data. They might think the machine's broken. Okay, I'll let you know and I'll feedback once I go further on in this research if I find anything else, but until then, goodbye.